Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Fans in Motion podcast, the only podcast you didn't know you needed. Josh and Brandon, I'm looking at you guys, and I say to you both, yes, I know how the world can fall upon you and take you down, 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 and make you feel like you're hollow inside. Do you
Do you
understand?
understand?
Say hello, Josh.
Oh, something light a candle and guide your fucking soul down the
Brent, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. How we all doing, guys?
I'm good. I'm
highway.
hungry.
Give
I
you
need some.
faith in the world. Oh,
Whoa,
you
easy,
do it,
hero.
Brent,
Take it
here,
down.
no, oh, go.
God, you two are the restless kind.
There it is. You give you faith in the world, yeah. Do you understand?
We got a Kelly Keagy over there.
Keychain. That's a new one.
Actually, if you go to Amazon, like Alexa, play Kelly Keagy. Here's songs from Kelly Keagy.
Oh, hold on. I got to hear this now.
Yeah.
Alexa, play Kelly Keagy.
To just play songs by Tori Kelly, you'll need to sign up for Amazon.
Tori Kelly. Alexa,
Yeah.
Kelly Keagy. How did you say Keagy?
Say play Kelly Keagy, I'm Alive.
Alexa, play Kelly Keagy, I'm Alive.
Gerald Levert with Kelly Price and Casey from iHeartRadio.
Gerald Levert.
Yeah, it's so I've sent things up.
Alexa, never play Gerald Levert again.
Sorry, it appears nothing is playing at the moment.
Yep. All right, so another riveting
Awesome.
off to a great, but there we go.
Wow.
So if you can get Kelly Keagy, I guess, to play, it will say, here's songs from Kelly Keagy. But anyways, I don't know where we're at, but fuck it. I'm going with it.
Hold on. I got it. Alexa, who's a Night Ranger?
Night Ranger is an American hard rock band founded in 1979 in San Francisco. The band's current members are Jack Blades, Kelly Keagy, Brad Gillis, Harry Kelly, Eric Levy, and Kelly Keagy.
Hey, we got a
Alexa,
twofer.
thank you.
We got a twofer.
You're so welcome. Kindness really gives me a charge. Hope you had a good Wednesday.
You too. Anyway, she
there
said Eric Levy.
Yeah. Well, that's how they pronounce it up north. But anyways, news, notes, minutia. We're gonna give you some of the latest Night Ranger associated news. We'll talk about some tour dates, right? We all love little tour dates. What else? There's some new stuff that's out there, some new news. I got some new collectibles. I actually got a lot. Shit's piling up. I need to show it. And we'll talk a little bit about the page and
I have nothing for the page. I got home 45 minutes before we had
we're phasing
to record.
We're phasing that part out. You forgot that meeting. But anyways, so
that's good.
What do we want to jump on here first? Let's do new music by the one and only Kelly Keagy. So God, I don't know, 6-7 months ago, I was talking to Kelly and something. I was like, I'm going to my studio, getting ready to record something for Jim Peterick. Like, that's cool. At least I know something's coming out, right? And about probably 2 or 3 weeks, 3-4 weeks ago, we talked and it's like, yeah, this album's coming out. I want to put something out to promote it. And there wasn't really a lot on Peterick's page that I could use because Peterick's doing something where he's doing duets with a lot of the people that, bands and stuff that we enjoy. And he had a video with Kevin Cronin from REO Speedwagon and Don Barnes or something like that, 38 Special. So there's really nothing I could do for Kelly's song till the actual pre-order came up. So pre-order came up, CD was released last week. Jim Peterick and World Stage Roots and Shoots Volume 1. So those that don't know, Jim Peterick, I would love to have Jim Peterick's mailbox because he gets all kinds of mailbox money. All right. So first band he was in was Ides of March, had that great song Vehicle. If you don't know it, Google it. So that was his original thing. And then you had Survivor. where he was keyboardist, guitarist, co-wrote all those Survivor hits, and then he was also co-writer. He was kind of like a songwriter for hire. He would go co-write, and he did a lot of the hits for 38 Special, Hold On Loosely, Rock Into the Night, Fantasy Girl. All those are Jim Peterick songs. He was one of the first people that Sammy Hagar ever co-wrote with, and that was the song Heavy Metal.
Nice.
So dude was just where his genre of music, hit right at the perfect time. If he was a songwriter up and coming today and that was his area of expertise, not going to happen. But so anyways, that's where Jim Peterick comes in. Now he's not been a Survivor for a couple decades. But he does solo work. He does that World Stage, which is like every year they have a big show in Chicago, and he had like a band called Pride of Lions. So anyways, here's Jim Peterick World Stage. The song that Kelly Keagy's on there is a song called Mend Fences. So you have, I don't know who some of these people, I apologize.
Just read them out.
Mark Farner from Grand Funk Railroad.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Mackey. Didn't think so. Anyways, that's but
he's from the Pacific Railroad.
Yes.
Just
but
the Funk
anyways,
Railroad, not
you
the
got
Grand Funk.
Kevin Cronin, Don Barnes. You got Colin Peterick, which I think is his son. Released on Frontier Records, just on CD though. There's no vinyl or anything, but nice colorful disc there. I kind of like the album cover. If you've never seen one of these trees of life or whatever they call them, like when I was in Africa, I saw a couple of them. Like there was one where there was actually like a family living like where they had carved, again, this is out in the middle of nowhere, and lived in the motherfucker. It was awesome. There's old Jim Peterick in the hair color. I met him a couple times. The first Melodic Rock Festival in South Bend back in 2007. So Mend Fences, here's the guy. There we go.
Excuse
Kelly Keagy. You see some of the other acts. There's Kevin Cronin and hey, how you doing? And Brent's like, hey, how you doing? And so there you go. So there you go. You want some new music?
2023, 24, Josh. I'm allowed to do that.
Hey, listen,
I wasn't.
I've never said you couldn't, man. I remember we were real young and
yeah,
you were just like wiener this and wiener that. And I was like, man, you be
no. That was you in your classroom with your kids showing you playing with your wieners. You said, I'll never forget it.
This is 2024, Brent. You can be whoever you want.
Nah,
so,
you were
anyways,
playing with your wieners in recess.
Here we are, Jim Peterick, Roots and Shoots, Volume 1.
He knows it.
There you go. Man, I was so poor. If I wasn't a boy, I had nothing to play with. What was that, Rodney Dangerfield or something like that? But
speaking of Roots and Shoots.
All right, so there we go. And then I think just released today, so we're recording this Wednesday. This will be out Thursday. The long-awaited Ross Valerie record. Now we've hinted some that Eric has been associated with, a bigger name from a group, and they've let it out within the last 6 months that they're doing something. So Eric, for the last probably 3 or 4 years, has been during the week going over to Ross Valerie's studio and recording. Now, those that don't know, Ross Valerie is a founding member of Journey, was there through all those progressive years without Steve Perry, and was on all the records throughout that classic era, Departure, Frontiers, and then was fired along with Steve Smith for the last Journey record from that classic era.
Raised on Radio.
Okay. And then when they got back together, he was there, and he was there from like 96 all the way up till 2018-19 when him and Steve Smith again got fired for maybe trying to take over some of the business things and all that stuff. Who knows? Who cares? But anyways,
Ross does. That's who cares.
I know they were looking at releasing this last year, kind of gearing up for it, and then they put it off. And 5 days ago, they released a little teaser with releasing a song called Tomland, 1924. And then today they released a little video that plays a little bit more of it. And they've given the title of the album All of the Above. So that's going to be the name of the album, All of the Above. The first single comes out Friday, January 19th, so you can hear the whole thing. But yeah, if you go to Ross Valerie's page and follow him, you'll see he'll post some stuff of Eric Levy. So it's just kind of cool. I know Eric's really proud of the work and they've put a lot of time and stuff into it. So it's nice to see that it's actually going to be coming out.
Good deal.
I don't know what kind of music. I think this first single, most of it I've heard is an instrumental, so it could be different. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really talked that much into it. I know Eric's recording a few other stuff with more like jazz oriented with some people that he knows. So when that stuff comes out, we'll keep you updated as well. Some big Joel Hoekstra news. Anybody see that?
Did see that.
Yeah.
So Joel Hoekstra is going to be joining the band Accept for their right now it's all their European festivals in 2024 and the South American tour in May.
I mean, I guess we take from that Whitesnake is
well,
I know they're going through something.
Well, the David Coverdale is just old, and
he
did have. I don't think it was anything major, but I still don't know if David Coverdale really wants to go back out on tour. Now, to me, they were setting it up
right
for that girl.
Well, no, that
girl bass player was going to take over vocals, is what I had read.
No, Dino, what's his name? The guy that did Jane with Joel and Mike Portnoy.
Yeah,
he had joined the band. He was in the band. They had taken press photos, and he was going to do the tour. I've never heard anything about that. The girl.
Oh yeah, I heard that girl bass player was going to be the new vocalist.
So Dino was going to be probably kind of like the next. Who's the guy in Foreigner? Kelly Hansen.
Kelly Hansen, Kelly.
So
I mean, he could be, I guess.
But that's what they were gearing it up as they were going to have 2 lead vocalists on that farewell tour. And I just don't know exactly what's the holdup.
Yeah.
There is a holdup. Now they've supplemented some with they've gone back and re-recorded Whitesnake albums. I won't say re-recorded the whole thing, but I think one of them they did. But anyways, Joel's gone back and added parts to some of those classic records, and they've released them as reimagined kind of records. But the Whitesnake thing, has died down. He is out playing with Brandon Gibbs, which they've done some dates here and there. Me and Brent went and saw him in 2022. They have a lot of dates set up in 2024. I think they signed with new management as well. So you'll see a lot of those Brandon Gibbs and Joel Hoekstra dates. I don't know this Accept thing, how much it's going to impact that. Now, they still say their other guitarist is still their permanent guitarist, Philip Seuss or something like that. Schaus. Played Gene Simmons' band.
He's currently bass.
One of the Nashville guys. First time I saw him was 2009 with John Corabi. Looked like a young Randy Rhoads. But anyways, he is still supposed to be the main guitar player, and Joel's just filling in. I never really got into Accept. Not that I really gave him a fair shake, I guess. Just
Udo looked like a little pig. That's why.
Yeah, I think that's some of it. You can't go wrong with balls to the wall. But but when I'm getting into that music, right, it's during grunge. So that's like when I'm getting old enough to I can, I had no one in my family was going into that shit, and I wasn't, I was a kid when that stuff was released. So I just remember like, all right, balls to the wall. It is kind of a little,
That's it.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, we all thought it was when it came out. We all thought it was unreleased Bon Scott.
But
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we did because we didn't know.
And I'll say this: I have a CD somewhere that has an unplugged version, an acoustic version of that song, and it's really, really good. I was like, damn, I really appreciate that song a lot more than I've heard an acoustic version of it. I'll have to try to find it. You can probably find it on YouTube.
So I don't really know anything about Accept. I know Udo's not with him. I do remember Udo released a record, and I heard this first single from it. I thought it was actually pretty good. Can't remember what it was or anything. And the other thing I remember about Accept is Michael Carlone drummed for them for a hot minute.
Oh, yeah?
96, 97, somewhere
I
in there.
didn't know that.
I don't know anything more than that. I guess I should have looked it up. But yeah, I just remember, because I remember hearing that he was with Accept back, 96, 97, and then Accept was playing the Al Rosa Villa. And I was like, maybe I should go and meet Michael Carlone. I never did. I don't know if he was with him or not. But so yeah, I mean, I don't know much about Accept, but I don't know how it's a good fit or not a good fit with Joel. Uh, it's probably a good fit for him because it probably fits into that tour schedule a little bit to where it's not during Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Yeah.
He could probably move. It's so far out to where he could probably, move the Hoekstra Gibbs dates around, and
it's in Europe.
yeah, I mean those gigs are paying. You're playing. If you're playing a European festival, you're getting paid pretty damn well. So, yeah, so can't beat that. So there you
Well,
go.
good on him. Good on Joel.
Some Joel
Yeah, he was
Hoekstra.
Mark, the lead singer from TT Quick. That's the one thing that I've got to check Accept out just because I like TT Quick.
So
There you go.
Yeah, and so there's some
Mark
Joel
Tornello.
Hoekstra. So right now, as we speak, I would assume Night Ranger is on stage in Key West. Motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Because right where I'm at, it's like 13 degrees.
We never get the invite to come down to that show.
No. I
We actually don't get the invite to none.
I texted Kelly a little bit. I sent him a screenshot of how cold it was. And then he sent me a screenshot where he's eating.
Yeah.
It's outdoors,
Yeah.
palm trees and shit, and just like whatever. So yeah, they're down there. Everything I think is going good. And then you guys are going to be listening to this on Thursday, so this will be the night before. Tomorrow, then Friday, they are in Scottsdale, Arizona, playing the Barrett Jackson auto auction, which I don't know if you guys have.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking.
I watch it.
Yeah, some fucking high priced. Yeah, that's the shit. Like if I was Elon Musk or I would go buy a $2 million car, and I would just take it right off the stage and like rag it out like an 82 Mazda, right? Just ripping through gears, just trashing it right there and go, I'm done. All right, cool.
I would drive it to Chicago to show them how this car doesn't get stuck. It can keep going with the gas instead of the, you know how they're having problems with the electrical cars right now.
I tell you what, I never knew this, but I saw someone, and then when you see it, you look it up, and I seen others. How fast? I'm sure it's not all of them. It's probably a certain brand. I don't even know if it's a Tesla, but how fast from 0 to like 70 those things can go. I was just amazed.
Yeah, they're going to start setting all the records for like stuff because I don't understand it all, but a podcast I used to listen to, Adam Carolla's podcast. He talked about, because he's a car guy. He's like these electric motors, they're instantaneous. They're going to beat out the combustion engines for that kind of torque or whatever. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm sure someone's going to correct what I'm saying, but yeah,
Well, we're electric. It's just there. I
yeah,
mean, when you got gas, you got like somewhat of a process. It's got to
right.
be
You got to
injected
burn
into
it.
the engine. You got to burn it. So, but anyways, yeah, I don't know what the fuck where is that with that, but
Barrett Jackson.
You could be a Barrett
yeah,
Jackson and strip in the car.
you just see some beautiful fucking vehicles, and then you're like, how the fuck is a car worth $3 million or whatever?
So where
But
are they playing that? I mean, where are they at?
so
Is there must be a pavilion there for the people?
well, the area is is huge, right? I mean,
Yeah,
they're in this huge, what was like a fucking airport hangar, it looks like. But they got a stage set up, Night Ranger and Foreigner.
that'd be great.
They did that in Indianapolis, not Night Ranger, but the car thing up in Indianapolis a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And it was up at the Indianapolis State Fairgrounds.
But yeah, so and then tickets just went on sale for Coleman, Michigan, the United by
Be right back.
Sacrifice.
Yeah.
So that just went on sale, I think last week. What went on sale last week there, buddy? I only posted it. The Macon, Georgia show.
Yeah.
But the show that is going on sale this Friday
Yeah.
is the Huntsville, Alabama show, which I'm pretty sure this is the first show since we've been associated with the band that they've played Alabama.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it sucks. So we were talking before we recorded. Huntsville is only an hour or so from where I sit, and I I was ready to buy my tickets, but I lost. I cannot go. There's another show in Nashville that I'm going to be going to. So
who are you going to?
I'm going to see the legendary John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band because of my absolute love of Eddie and the Cruisers. And I've never seen John Cafferty, and this may be the only time I get to see him without going to Rhode Island because that's his stomping grounds, and he doesn't do a lot of that I'm aware of a lot of touring out this way. So
Whenever you
You could tell them the old joke that I used to say to you all the time when we were kids.
what was that?
What is Darth Vader's favorite song on the
Oh.
dark side?
Yeah,
Which everybody probably made that joke up.
I will hear that song and I will be excited. I hope I get a chance to actually meet the man. I love the music. I love the soundtrack.
and what's the famous skit with Norm as Burt Reynolds and Will Ferrell as Trebek and
Yeah,
what's his head is Sean Connery.
Celebrity Jeopardy. Yeah,
One of the French Stewart, whoever I think that was Jimmy Fallon. One of the answers he gives is whatever that band is, the Beaver Brown Band.
the Beaver Brown Band.
So, anyways, you got those two dates, and you got the Nice Winter Tour 2 weeks from
Yeah.
now, Wisconsin, Effingham, Illinois, and Wisconsin Dells. I always liked when people like post on the internet, probably from their phone, where is Effingham, Illinois? And I'm always like, don't you just hit Google Maps like with your button? Like it's less words to type. You just have to type
Josh,
Effingham, Illinois.
Andy and I have a mutual friend. If we post something, he'll be like, "Who's Butch Walker?
Yeah.
Who's?"
Who's
I'm
Baton
like,
Rouge? Who's
and-
whatever you
and
bring up.
and usually I'll just not I don't know I won't respond to it. But
Brett will
every now
message
and
me.
then,
Brett's like, he's on the internet. Just look it up.
yeah, I'll put. Well, there is a thing called Google, Bing.
That's a bridge too far for him.
Anyways, we got a show in California, a show in Arizona, 1st of February, and then the Las Vegas shows at the Strat. Come see me. Get an autographed 8x10. Smack my ass. And then the weekend after that, a couple, right? They've both been announced. A couple North Dakota shows, correct? Yeah, I think so. Fort Yates and Belcourt, North Dakota. I don't know if that one might have just been announced. The Sky Dancer Casino.
There you go.
The Huntsville, Alabama show, Macon, Georgia, and there's still a third show that weekend on Sunday that's supposedly, in the works. So keep an eye out. That's all I can tell you.
Good deal.
The next weekend, you got Fort Worth at Billy Bob's in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So, Night Ranger, pack your cowboy hats and your belt buckles.
I was recently into Billy Bob's back in September, man. That's pretty cool. It's a big place.
Yeah, they used to release live CDs of all my favorite countries.
Have you been there, Josh?
I have not. I don't even know if
Oh,
I've been to, I don't think I've ever been to Dallas.
You'd like that area. It's neat. That Billy Bob's is huge.
Drink a
Huge.
little, long as it got Lone Star on tap.
Yeah.
Mulvane, Kansas, Centerville, Illinois at the Walker Bluff Casino. That's early April. Then we got the Ohio dates. I don't know if y'all going there or not, but y'all should, right? Indiana, Ohio, April 12th, Anderson, Indiana, Harrah's Casino. Come on, Night Ranger, a casino. Shit, man, you can't get better than that. Saturday night, Tiffin, Ohio at the Ritz Theater. Nice little old theater. I've never been there. I always wanted to go. So Ritz Theater Saturday night, and then you just travel a little bit more east. Sunday night, Midland Theater, Newark, Ohio. It's like 25 minutes away from my home. Y'all can come over after party, drink some booze. So there you go. You got the April show.
Look,
May.
They can watch the dog.
Josh, I have plenty of Paps and Schlitz waiting for you.
I like Paps, I like Schlitz. M3 Festival, early May. Y&T on the same bill. How fucking cool is that? Woodstock, Georgia. I don't know if I said that. I should have said that one yet.
I didn't hear anything.
So now Cheap Trick, Night Ranger, Sonoma, California at the county fair there. Big ordeal. Basically, it's LA's fair. Cheap Trick has canceled. So if you go to Ticketmaster, it shows canceled. They're trying to get another act to replace Cheap Trick and then put that show back on the bill with Night Ranger. So it's not Cheap Trick's canceled. Night Ranger is still up in the air. They, if they can't figure out another hard rock act, then they may just cancel it all completely and put, Kevin Sharp, country music singer from the 90s in there. You got some Michigan dates at the end of May. You got Jackson, Michigan at the Optimus Ice Arena. It's a makeup date from last September, and the Coleman, Michigan show that I just told you about. There's a show so that Sonoma show. Here's the thing. I was looking at the red schedule, and so like Spirit Airlines, you can fly Columbus, Ohio to LA, like $60, $70. It's like, when do they play the Dodgers on the weekend? I was looking, and they play the Dodgers, whatever, May 17th. I'm like, there's a Night Ranger show in LA right around that time. Sure enough, same weekend. So if it's not canceled, how am I jump on a $60 flight, go to LA, watch a Dodgers game, and the next night watch Night Ranger and fly home? So
that'd be fun.
So yeah, so there's that.
Get you a Dodger dog.
That's probably $30 for that.
I'm seeing if there's any other. There's maybe a couple dates here in the summer in Indiana, maybe another Wisconsin, maybe, I don't know. Maybe a Nevada show, maybe a Missouri show, California. There's Monsters of the Mountain, Tennessee at the end of August.
That's become a popular thing over the past 3 years now.
They do it really well. I was at the 2022, 21, whatever, somewhere around there. So it wasn't last year. So 2022, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was the weekend of my birthday when we went to Dixon.
Yeah, it was the night before Dixon. So whatever year that was. I mean, that 21? No?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. 21. Yeah, it was in 21. I'm pretty sure it was 21. Holy shit. Anyways, Dixon was cool. I remember that. But Monsters on the Mountain's really, I mean, it's got a price, but for the amount of bands that you see, the venue's really nice, but you're going to spend some money, hotels and all that shit.
Yeah.
So, so there you go. More dates being lined up. And they're hitting some places that they haven't hit. You got some dates in Georgia and some dates in Alabama, and they're hitting California a little bit more. They're a little bit all over the place. There's nothing in the Northwest, not a lot of Florida.
Not in the Northeast either.
Yeah, but they really don't go to North.
Yeah.
Some reason they still sell well.
They
in,
get to
like,
Baltimore. It seems about as far as they go.
even Baltimore didn't. They just don't sell well on the East Coast. I mean,
Yeah, but I
they're.
mean, even that they're doing it as a festival. They're not
Yeah.
doing it as a.
Oh yeah, Maryland. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So there you go. So am I missing anything? Night Ranger news?
I don't think so.
Yeah. So we did an 8-track episode a couple weeks ago or so with Tim Derling from Tim's Final Confessions. And because I'm getting a little unorganized because I just constantly take shit out and never put it back. I missed one 8-track. So we were talking about like the Rubicon 8-tracks and how Rubicon was also on Cal Jam 2. They're also on this. So this is one of those KTEL, probably
KTEL,
KTEL,
man.
right? Yeah.
The
KTEL.
best.
Yeah, KTEL. So Superstar collection. It's also out on vinyl. We've shown the vinyl. And on program 4, you got Casey and the Sunshine Band. Some dude named Paul Nichols. Peter Brown. Theme from Close Encounters. Well, maybe it's not on program 4. It's on program 3.
It's an odd song to put on.
Yeah.
Close Encounters. I don't remember having a memorable theme song. Except for the do.
Well, so far this is an odd collection of songs anyway, or artists anyway.
So it's kind of weird because I think on the record, it's the second record and like side 4, basically. And on here, it's program 2. So again, they're moving this around to fit, the tracks. But I'm going to take care of everything. Rubicon, program 2. So there you go. So if you're wanting to get your complete 8-track collection.
Timely, get your 8-tracks in order.
So here's something I don't know what the fuck it is. Someone put this on sale somewhere, probably eBay maybe, and it was like $50. I looked at it, not buy it, and then it sell, and next thing I know, it was like up for sale for $10. Like, yeah, $10. What the hell?
Yeah.
So, it's from Japan. Guitar Kid is what that logo says. And then there's Japanese writing underneath it. I don't know if this is new. I don't know if it's something from the 80s.
It should have a copyright date on there.
Is it sanctioned by Brad?
Don't know anything. So here's the plastic case. All right, so you can see.
Yeah.
All right. Now it's got Brad Gillis. One pick, it says Brad Gillis Night Ranger. The other one says Jeff Watson Night Ranger. And then the middle guitar says Night Ranger Guitar Kids Toshiba. So I'm thinking it's like some promo item.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Toshiba did back probably I'd say 80s. I mean, just because it has Jeff Watson on it.
Huh.
And there's the Toshiba.
And it's called what? Guitar Kids?
Yep.
Is it KITZ? That's what it looks like.
That's what it looks like. Well, I don't think it's plural. I think it's Guitar Kid. Then the lightning bolts on both
Makes it
ends.
look like a Z.
Yeah. So Guitar Kid,
Japan.
and then if you notice, electric guitar on Brad, acoustic guitar on Jeff. And it's got this little, foam holder. And if you look on the back, the
The
middle
one's a pin.
has a pin, and then it just perfectly slides on.
If you sent that to Brad, be like, hey man,
No,
bet you don't have this.
well, one, he probably doesn't, which means I'll probably end up giving it to him. But I wanted to show it first.
Yeah, before.
He may have it. I don't know. I do send him stuff. Hey, have you seen this? And I have given him stuff. So, but I wanted, like I said, to show it first. So anyways, there's that. It's been lurking around. I got this the other day. Just never seen it. It wasn't that much.
Oh, nice.
Guitar. It's Kids, KIDZ. And
how
it's
old is
for
that? How old is that keychain, man?
So if you look, it's actually got
1985.
It's got the copyright in there. So if you look, 1984 Night Ranger, Personalities Inc., Gaithersburg, Maryland. So this was an official item.
Yeah.
And they sold those at Spencer's.
Well, 1984. There you go. So, anyways, I had never seen one.
They had a vest too, a satin vest.
I got one of those. They have a satin vest and a jacket.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have a few of those. I need to figure out where the one's like a roll. I got like it's kid size.
You gotta wear it, man.
Yeah. So, anyways, there's that. Just something kind of cool that was out there. Now, I know people have been asking where like the autographed copies and all that shit are. I don't know. Listen, I don't care. I ordered them. They'll get here whenever. But here is like the regular copy of Goldmine with Jack Blades on it.
That's pretty cool.
And I mean, the quality now for the price, $13 for a magazine, the quality better be good. So it's all color photos. The cover has a nice feel to it. Here is, and it's got a few pages. You got photos of the current band right now. And you get, a throwback photo. There's Jeff and Fitz. And then,
God, I don't remember Goldmine ever looking like him like that.
I'm not quite sure what they're trying to do with the U.S. albums and singles. They put prices on them. I don't know. The prices are, I guess, average. But then they do 45s. Man, they're missing shit left and right. I mean, some obvious stuff, and everything's just $5. Which, all right, whatever.
Now, can you purchase them?
No.
Okay. Well, I mean, is Goldmine still?
I don't know if they still do the paper version, but I mean, who would? I mean,
is it just a magazine now? Is all it is?
I think it's just the magazine, like collector's, and I think.
I mean, Andy, you know what Goldmine was, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's where you traded records or something, didn't you?
Well, no, just people would put advertisements in, and you just had to get a magnifying glass to read some of them.
Oh.
And Josh, that record, that box set, I got that out of Goldmine that we traded.
Yeah, so it used to be kind of like a newspaper, but it was thick. I mean, it had a lot of pages, and it just had advertisements. And you could, if you were a collector, you could spend hours going through that, and highlighting what you wanted and trying to find the best prices. But it'd be like kind of like, hey, I'm going to go look for a job, and then going to the gas station and
I got that from Goldmine
and getting a newspaper, right? Like, who the fuck puts jobs in newspapers anymore? So Goldmine, in order to stay somewhat relevant, they've changed more over to that collector's magazine style, and they sell other stuff on the page, like vinyl, and I think they have some exclusive vinyl. And then what they were doing with Night Ranger is they have the different the different magazine covers, and then they have like a slipcase with one, and they sold 100 of them for $25, and 50 of them are going to be autographed. So, there's that. And then I forgot I ordered this. I got a box in the mail. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I opened it up. I'm like, all right. And I started to think about it, like, I don't remember this. And I looked at it. It was shipped in July. So it sat somewhere.
Holy shit.
Forever. And I didn't get it through eBay. I got it through Discogs, which I don't do that a lot. And I never track it. So probably once I order it, it's out of my mind. We are looking at this. This is Midnight Badness by a band called Night Ranger. Now, this little hype sticker is actually printed. So that's not a sticker. That's actually on the cover. Print. If you look here, look at this track listing. Now it's different like the German version, but I think it's even more different. I don't have the German version here.
So you bought this from someone overseas?
I don't know where the fuck I bought it.
Yeah,
from.
You had to. If it's sat.
But you can see how different the sides are there. Obviously, all right. Sister Christian being song 1. here is that just gives you a little bit of information. Copyright date 1984, not 1983. Gallo Records. And then Artonia Press over there in the corner. And then you have the sleeve, not much different. It's more of a paper fill, doesn't have any gloss on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get that nice sticky.
Nice. Yeah, looks great.
Oh, fuck. Oh, someone taped it. Fucker.
There you go.
It's hard to look tough when it doesn't open
Yeah,
right
when
when
it
you
doesn't work.
It's usually really well oiled and everything else. I got it going, but all right. So had it when I was in Iraq, someone bought like a nice fancy knife because you don't want it to where you just press it like that and it opens. You want to have it locked. And we weren't in Iraq. We were waiting to get Iraq. We were in Kuwait. Some fuckhead bought a new knife and didn't have it locked, and it opened in his cargo pocket and fucking sliced his leg. So we had to get like one of our commercial, Blazers or whatever and drive his ass an hour to the nearest hospital, which is fine, because I like going to that base because they had real toilets, right? Not porta potties where we would shit for 30 days straight. It's like, nice hard toilet. I bought DC Talk CD and Iron Maiden in the same day.
Ooh.
I was covering all my bases, man. Wherever I was being sent to, if it was my time, I was going to be prepared. All right, so
Can't believe he didn't start a DC Talk podcast.
well, listen, I'm not a big.
He
DC
could be
Talk,
working on it that we don't know about.
but they were like what Christian rap, and they
Sure.
put out an album that was rock called Supernatural. Well, girlfriend I was as dating at the time, loved to make out and hump, but she was big into Christian music. All right, whatever, Jesus died for your sins. You might as well make that worth it.
Yeah.
She had that DC Talk record, and it was a fucking good rock record. So if you want to hear a good song, there's a DC Talk song called Supernatural. Google that, and I was like I said back then. You didn't have. When I was in Iraq, you didn't have. I saw the first iPod over there. Some guy from California walking around with it, like, what the fuck's that? Oh, I put 100 songs on it. Yeah, so that was the first time I saw. I'm looking for another song off that record. Supernatural was the record. We're getting some DC Talk. It's Killing Me was a great track. Consume Me was a great track. Supernatural was the song I said I really liked. And My Friend was actually a decent. And if you're a Night Ranger fan, you would like it because it's like melodic rock. So anyways, there you go. But Supernatural by DC Talks. Great song. Here is the label. Doesn't really tell you much. It looks similar to the Sister Christian 45. No, not Sister Christian, Sentimental Street from Zimbabwe. So it gives you a little hint of where you're at, what continent. Has an MCA label. Don't know how much that really means. But anyways, this is a copy of Midnight Madness from, does anybody want to take a hint? Take a guess, I mean?
Austria.
I'm going to say Guatemala.
Well, Guatemala's in Central American, or no? Is that Northern, South America? Anyways, no and no. It is South African. So that's
would have taken me a while to get to that.
So Zimbabwe, yeah, it's I don't know if it borders South Africa, but it's down there. But that's the other African version that's out there of the single. And yeah, so apparently I saw a good deal on Discogs, and I needed the South African version. And then,
What a big call for Night Ranger in South Africa.
well, yeah, South Africa, Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe.
Yeah, holy shit. So, anyways, there you go.
We need to find someone from that country to get on the show and talk to them.
Maybe next week we'll talk some Iron Maiden.
Mm.
So, but there you go. So your
I got
night,
2 things I want to show you.
yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh shit.
Easy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Get
Keep
Believe it or not,
family oriented.
yeah.
this is kind of cool for me.
All right.
You're like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, well, I got it the Japanese version.
Yeah,
Mothers.
yeah. You don't have the digipack anymore.
Is there what's the
But
difference?
no, this one didn't have digipack.
All right,
What's
well,
that, Andy?
What's the difference? Talk to me.
It's got the Hardest
sure-
Road bonus track.
I'm sure we went over it, but I don't remember it.
And I was on Amazon and it was $15. And I think they screwed up and listed it wrong because the other ones were all 30. And then my daughter Madison for Christmas got me that one from Japan. So now we're out of the digipack, Josh.
Nice.
So we got the official Japanese release there with the Obi inside there, and
She's a good kid.
yeah. She asked me what else I wanted. I told her I wanted a copy of Monster first pressing, and I found one on eBay. The guy was selling it for brand new for $24, sealed. Never got it. And I don't have the first pressing of Monster. I have the second.
okay, with like
Yeah.
the O or something. that's-
Yeah, with the O. Because I've got the picture disc with the O that way. So I just never bothered worrying about the regular vinyl, but now it's eating me up inside. In any event, that's the 2 things I have.
Hillary Hoover posted this, the Rockfest from Kalamazoo, where they keep the wild calamus in Michigan. But name dropping here, Brad sent that to me, and he's like, "Hey, did you see this on there?" I was like, so I don't know if he got it from this post, but
Did you
there's
say,
a good,
Brad? Did you catch that on the Fans in Motion page?
but
Yeah, that's like somebody
There's-
sending me something of Brad's the
there's-
wedding for
Yeah.
Tommy Lee, and they're like, "Hey, did you see this?" I'm like, "Well, I am on a Night Ranger page."
Yeah.
that Tommy Lee stuff, that it really happened how it happened. He sent those to me probably 3 or 4 months ago, and it just always got pushed back, and it's like, I think we were going to post it one day, and then something else came up, so we didn't have, they haven't really been playing any shows, so it's like, hey, why don't we do those Tommy Lee photos? Because when he first sent them to me, it was holy fucking shit, it's like, you're right there, with them, and obviously it plays a big part in the Dirt movie. So, but yeah, it's just, God knows, like, what else do you have, Brad? Just one day, hey, a buddy of mine sent these. What do you think? Like, what the? But anyways, he sent that, and I was talking to there's a good documentary on YouTube about this festival, and like Rudy and Ozzy get in a fight and stuff, and I think it's been talked about some, and I mentioned to Brad, it's like, I think that's the show, like Rudy and Ozzy got in a fight. He goes, yeah. He said a few details, but he's like, I was there. I'm just like, well, yeah, duh. Like, but it's just cool hearing that. I need to go through my phone. Like, I found this photo I took. This is from the first For Peppy show. I never used it. I'm like, well, that's a kind of a good photo. I need to edit it and make it look good. And so God knows what else I fucking got. Here's a cool Amy Johnson posted a cool
DW.
DW, and has all the acts, and it's unique because it's Kelly Keagy, probably Man in Motion era, I would assume 19. It might have the date there.
Keagy.
Actually, it says 1989. So it's, I mean, that's, if it's early 89, that's when they were breaking up. So it's probably one of the last pieces of advertisement that says Kelly Keagy Night Ranger until, they got with Gary Moon, and in the early 90s. What else we got was on the page? You guys just need to go to the Facebook page and click like and follow all this stuff. Brad Gillis got some news on Blabbermouth, basically saying I didn't care for a lot of music from the grunge era. It was just too much of a downer.
Yeah, but typically Blabbermouth, I mean, that's all clickbait.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Because if you read the article, it's not like he's trashing it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I didn't take it from that he was. I just, again, you guys were, becoming, adults and having careers and families when grunge came out. I was in ninth grade. I was, so my high school was all years were all grunge, right?
Yeah.
I didn't get any of the cool shit. And to tell people who weren't around or, were already out of school, go rent Billy Madison. Go rent. There, just tell you how fucking old I am. Well, you go on Amazon Prime and click buy. Or you can rent it. I guess you can rent it on there. But anyways, Billy Madison, two things. He shows up to school, right? After he's been out of school for 10 years, shows up in his Trans Am, cranking Billy Squire and wearing an REO Speedwagon shirt. And everybody in high school laughs at him, makes fun.
Yeah.
And then he hires a rock band to play like when he graduates 5th grade or something. And it's a hair band, right? But it's a mockery of them. And that's how all those bands were looked at by every kid, teenager.
Yeah.
And it was almost overnight. I still tell the story of 9th grade, sitting in the first period English class, and kind of like in the next row, just seat up, Tony Butler talking about Smells Like Teen Spirit. I'm like, that's all I hear him talking about. I'm like, it's like, someone fucking stink. Do I stink? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And finally, I was like, Tony, what the fuck are you talking about? Smells Like Teen Spirit. And there's a girl sitting in front of me and a girl sitting beside me. They both like turn their heads around. Like, what do you mean you don't know Smells Like Teen? You don't watch MTV? And at that time, I've been watching MTV since 1983. Like, I was already out of that music. Like, none of that stuff really, does anything to me. Dangerous Toys and all that shit. I just didn't get into it. And they're like, there's this new band, Nirvana. And
everything changed.
Yeah,
but it didn't happen as quick as everybody says it did.
No, because
it didn't.
That would have been late 91, somewhere in there. Pearl Jam hit, and it would have probably been late 92 when it took over, like completely. Because I still remember Damn Yankees album coming out August of 92, somewhere around there, right? And they had a live show MTV did in the evenings, and they were going to premiere Don't Tread. So I taped it, and I just always remember tomorrow, join us when they would premiere a new video every day. Tomorrow we premiered Jeremy. At the time, you don't think anything of it. Now it's such an iconic song. It's been there forever. So, I just know by then when Jeremy hit, it was ingrained. But
I saw Pearl Jam open. They were the opening band for Smashing Pumpkins Smashing Pumpkins and Red Hot Chili Peppers. And I only went to see Pearl Jam. Andy, you left, didn't you, after Pearl Jam? Didn't you have to, or that was Tom?
The only Pearl Jam I ever saw with you was with Bogarts.
Bogarts? Okay. Yeah, because we went and saw him at Bogarts and went up to Newport the next night in Columbus because...
what's funny about that show is I wasn't even going to go. You and Urban were like, dude, you're going to regret this if you don't go. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm not
because they were no longer going to be our band.
I don't think they're going to make it.
And...
And if you're a Pearl Jam fan, go back and listen to the interview we did with Kevin Rankin, who is the drummer for Flock of Seagulls. And he's a big metalhead, but he was like friend David Brusaby, or what's his name?
Aberuzzi.
Yeah, so like he was like, they're still friends, but he was, right before they broke big, they were playing college places and
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of like Bogarts, and that's how he met him. And he said like the story, he didn't have a drum tech, so he was there just because he was in college. He's like, I'll set up the drums for you guys. So he set them up and he, did all the shit with them. And um,
Dave showed up.
I think he roadied with. I can't remember now, but um,
Well,
that's how they met.
I mean, like Temple of the Dog was out almost a year before it became popular because it took Pearl Jam that long to become popular. And then after that, Soundgarden started exploding after that,
Soundgarden was the last of those three.
you know,
Never to
but it was
explode,
because of Temple of the Dog getting big because of Pearl, people that started discovering it.
But yeah, it's just amazing just how quick it was, in like I said, high school, where back then music was driven around teenagers. I mean, that's what made music cool, was whatever teenagers,
Yeah.
people in their early 20s was listening to. And
But man, every TV ad for whatever store selling clothes, flannel. I'm like, oh my God, I'm tired of this.
yeah.
I grew tired of it very quickly.
Oh fuck, I lived it, man. It was just
Oh,
and really the
there's
first
nothing worse than seeing Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley in flannel. That was terrible.
yeah,
So
like
was the album they put out.
Yeah.
well, me liking Kiss, I
Yeah.
mean, it was I fucking might as well
You-
just like dinosaurs,
Yeah.
um
You must have
I-
walked in wearing a Pablo Cruz t-shirt.
I would be wearing a Kiss shirt, and who I talked to the most was teachers.
Yeah.
I saw them in 1977, and so definitely a different, like I said, I grew up with the whole grunge thing, and um, there were a few, but I didn't get into Pearl Jam. Uh, Nirvana was okay. I mean, I like the songs that weren't on the radio, which is, you can say that for a lot of songs, a lot of
Sure.
bands. Um, I still remember. I just thought about this the other day. Me and my buddy were down in his basement. We had like a family room or something, and down there, and there was one CD player up top, and we had that Nirvana Nevermind CD, and we heard there was a hidden track. Or no, I don't even know if we knew there was a hidden track on it, right? I think we just had it playing in the radio upstairs, and we had it up really loud so we could hear it through the floorboards.
Yeah.
You can hear it pretty good. So it stops playing, and we're down there still. And there's like a 15-minute gap, and then it plays a hidden song, and it just kicks off really loud. You talk about us losing our shit. Like, what the, first of all, it scares you. Back then, you didn't have hidden tracks, cassette ain't gonna
Yeah.
hold anything. And what the, we didn't know if like Satan was coming through the speakers or what.
Yeah.
But I probably the band I really enjoyed was Alice in Chains and Stone Temple Pilots. They
Sure.
were, but then even with the grunge, man, just like outside of the grunge, man, it was just, fucking the Lemonheads and Gin Blossoms, and it wasn't, it's just like, man, there wasn't even much outside that, uh, bands you forget about, Meat Puppets and Cracker, and then you get something like, well, at least this is different, listenable. What's the Blues Traveler? You get that, and like, okay, I can at least listen to that a little bit. But the only bands that really grunge didn't really seem to impact was, I think I've said it before, like Van Halen, Aerosmith. Those bands, it didn't really impact them too much, but it impacted Kiss and others. And here's
And
another.
Metallica didn't really bother Metallica.
Yeah, but Metallica wasn't really a hair band.
No, but I mean, as far as from
I mean,
that genre,
I think,
that
well,
era,
I mean,
if that's the right word.
grunge helped those bands to me. Metallica, Megadeth, um, even Anthrax, with John Bush singing, that's where I saw more Anthrax stuff, with John Bush, in high school than I would have seen, like, early on. Now, again, I was a little bit younger, so that's some of it, but uh yeah, so the grunge era, and
Mm.
but we got, I mean, the bands. I mean, how many? I love seeing like ticket stubs from like where some of these bands were playing in the '90s. I remember Dee Snider played Al Rosa when he was with a band called Widowmaker.
Widowmaker. I've got both their CDs.
94. And I forget who I was talking to. I didn't go, but someone older that I knew, and I can't remember who it was now.
Yeah, I remember him being up there.
He went, and he was like, "Dude, there were 30 people there."
Yeah.
I mean, and 94, I remember I went to Motley Crue, and we were leaving Louisville, and we stopped at a traffic light, and there's this rundown old building next to us, but it had a little marquee up on it, and it's like Thursday night, all you can eat wings. Friday night, David Lee Roth. And it's just like, and then
Brent,
you think
probably went to that show, didn't you, in Louisville?
No, I saw Roth. I was supposed to see him at the Polaris or Deer Creek in Indianapolis.
Okay.
And we learned on the way to the show that it was moved to a bar, a tiny little bar. So that's how I got to meet Dave, because his bus was blocked in it was a little parking lot, and all the cars were double parked. The bus couldn't leave, so he just took pictures with all of us. He was stuck. And I'll never forget, I looked at Joey, I said, how the hell is he going to say, look at all the people here tonight? Because that's what, and he said, look at all the smiling faces here tonight. I'm like, well, he made an effort.
Played it off.
But you think about it, right? Like
that was your Filthy Little Mouth tour.
You think about, I mean, you think about it right now, if it's 1990, so it's 2004. Let's just say 2000, or not 2004. It's 2024. So let's say 2024 is 1994, right? Roth is playing bars. And just in 1989 for Roth, he's in arenas. You see how, like 2019 to now, you go from arenas, and probably not even that. I mean, he probably could have toured in 91 and played arenas, which would be.
But you got to look at Roth's decline was steady, because he went from Eat 'Em and Smile to that horrible Skyscraper album, and that tour was terrible.
But it's still, he's playing arenas.
Think about, he's going from arenas to
no, but
bars.
I mean, but you could see his success side in him, when what was the next album? It's great. But the Devil,
Little Ain't Enough.
Yeah, Little Ain't Enough, great album, but he just wasn't. He got the smaller places, even on top of that.
I remember I had one buddy, Anthony, that was into my music, the same music, and it was like, I remember us, maybe he got it first, but bringing in the Little Ain't Enough. And it's just, we were the only ones that cared about David Lee Roth. And I guess that's what I'm getting at, is 10 years, just 10 years, 2014. He would have been the ruler of everything. So, now I just don't think, I tell people this, the whole Van Halen, David Lee Roth era would fit in 2018 till now. That's it. That's the whole David Lee Roth era.
Yeah.
2018 to now. And it wasn't that much time. And just to think, like, even with Night Ranger, 7 Wishes, you're on top of the world, and less than 3 years later, you're playing Bogarts. And then if you want, even want to say, I don't know. Anyways, grunge was a interesting era.
Hey, back to the page. If you saw,
listen,
Josh,
we're just chit chatting, man.
I did post. I don't know if you saw. I did posted an article I'd read where it lists the top 50 AOR albums, and our boys got 2 mentions in that article out of 50. They got 2 of them.
Yeah, I don't. Again, I don't know who's writing it or whatever. And
well, the cool thing, I don't know if you read it, and I know you see all the posts, but the thing is, he says on Dawn Patrol, they said the best American hard rock debut since Van Halen. And I was like,
The first Boston record don't count. Which, if I
I
remember,
wouldn't count it.
well,
well,
I don't know where it fell in the charge. Just saying what he said about Dawn Patrol.
I'm pretty sure Boston, their debut was ranked number 2. So even on
Yeah.
their own list, they
Yeah.
have a debut higher than that. But I mean, it's a good debut. But I, you know, I mean,
I don't know.
I mean,
Maybe they'll consider Boston hard rock.
well, it's on the list. It's their number 2.
Well, the list is AOR, album oriented rock,
What do
and what
they
he's
say?
saying is he's saying Night Rangers was the best hard rock debut since Van Halen. So maybe that's this play on is semantics. I know, but yeah, I mean, you
All
can't
right.
argue with Boston's debut album. It's one of the best selling albums of all time. I mean, I'm not saying anything negative about that. I'm just saying I like to see our boys mentioned. Um,
And that list had shit on there I'd never heard.
Oh
So
God, yeah.
yeah,
I'd say about 30 of those fucking things I never heard
but
of.
I mean, if if you like that, like Andrew McNeese from Melodic Rock, he'll mention bands, right? And like they had a good record in 1984, and
Yeah.
they still got a career, and he follows them, and people love him. But I don't know, like what's one of the Harem Scarum. I know a lot of people like,
Yeah.
that are melodic rock, and I don't
Oh,
know.
listen, there's a band that I really enjoyed their first album. Their second album I didn't care for, but it's a great if you like the Warrants of the world, they're in that vein. It's a band called Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
Their first album's fantastic. Second one went a little astray from what I liked, but I still to this day I'm like that's a great
See,
album. I'll
that
put
was
it in right
kind of
now.
like, again, early 90s where, I was stuck on Motley Crue, Aerosmith, Damn Yankees, and my buddies would watch MTV, and it would be, I really didn't like Warrant. I really didn't like, the Poison. I fucking hated Poison. I liked their first record. I really didn't like Flesh and Blood.
Yeah.
But and I didn't like all that stuff. I didn't like Baton Rouge, Tangier, um, Dangerous Toys, just stuff that was.
Danger.
I didn't mind Danger. To me, Danger sounded a little bit like Night Ranger. I could listen to that. But
Yeah, but Dangerous Toys I never got. That was horrible.
I know, but you like put a log in your fireplace by Gene Simmons, and that.
No, it just that scared
God,
song was so damn stupid and Sporting a Woody.
but
God, it was horrible. And that stupid clown.
anyway,
I like clowns.
but yeah, Baton Rouge and
Crying on the
like I
inside, I
said,
guess.
Tangier was another one I think was a band, right from that era. And God, there was Roxy Blue, remember them? And Shotgun Gypsy.
Roxy Blue wants you.
Great album cover. I liked it. Uncle Sam with a Bride.
Shotgun Messiah wasn't bad. They had some good tunes.
They were okay. They were a little bit heavy.
Saw them open for Saigon Kick one year.
But did I open for Shotgun Messiah?
No.
Who did I open for? I opened for some band out of the 90s.
Flamin' Gladys.
No, it was like something like that. I'll find the show. I'll message it to you.
Richie Scarlet.
I would say my claim to fame, but there was only 15 people at Bogart's, so not
All right. So anyways, if you're still here,
why?
Listen, man, we love you. All right, so there you go.
Lord Tracy, Deaf Gods of Babylon, one of the greatest records from that era.
Oh, there's another Lord Tracy. Well, Tracy was a cool name because you had Lord Tracy and you had Kick Tracy.
Yeah.
Steven
but Lord Tracy was awesome.
Lord Tracy was okay. I liked the little Kicks Tracy too. You had Steven Serafax, who a lot of people don't know was kind of in the first running to be the singer for Motley Crue. He was the first guy that they were considering before Karabi.
He's from Kick Tracy.
Kick Tracy, what'd I say?
Yeah. No. He's from, I'm just saying.
Yeah. But
I got to know the Lord Tracy guys.
And then Steven Serafax, I feel bad for him. Because he comes right in at the end of right at the beginning of grunge, right? So Kick Tracy, kick-ass band, doesn't get any love because of grunge, right? Almost gets the Motley Crue job, doesn't get it. And then VH1 back in the early 2000s they did like a special where it was like basically the beginnings of Velvet Revolver. Okay, so it's Slash and it's Duff and Matt Sorum, and they're auditioning different singers to be a singer of their project.
Mm.
And I can't remember who all. I think they got the guy from Monster Magnet to come in, and everybody does okay, right? And they give Steven Serafax a demo tape to write some lyrics and put over their songs. And they get the tape, and I get it. I mean, I'm all right. I'm going to be writing songs and singing with the guys from Guns N' Roses. He writes a lyric called Stripper Girl. I think that's what it was called. Pretty sure. And they just dog it. I remember Duff going like, "We already fucking done this. This sucks." And you know what I mean? Like that's one of your lasting legacies is not only being just trashed, but
Yeah.
trashed on air on VH1 for everybody to see. I wonder what he's up to nowadays. But yeah, to be so close, right? Buck Cherry, Josh Todd from Buck Cherry was being considered for that band. So they eventually
No, thank you.
I like old Buck Cherry. And eventually went with Scott Weiland and made a couple pretty good records. All right, so listen, I don't know what you guys are looking at, but I think they're sleeping. But go to fansomotion.com. You get all the episodes, all that great stuff. Find us on Facebook, Fans in Motion, Night Ranger. Click join. Maybe you'll be the 10,000th person. If you are, Brent will find you and give you a hand job or flick the bean. And what else? You go to Instagram, click
Roxy Blue wants you.
follow. Go to, if you're on YouTube, click subscribe. Oh my Lord, that'd make me so fucking happy. What else? I don't know, man. This is a long episode when it wasn't intended to be, but you know, sometimes we just like to chit chat, say hello. If you're out there listening, tell us everything you loved about this episode, I guess. Anyways, if not, we'll see you next week. Andy, say something.
Bye. I'm hungry.
Oh shit, you could have said that at the beginning of the episode. Brent.
Good night. I'm going to bed.
All right. On that note, later.